What's up, Comic Frontline? It's Mr. J here. Happy holidays, everybody. It's 4 days till Christmas. Hope you guys are having fun, spending time with families, getting that crazy, hectic, last minute shopping done. I hope you guys are having fun, and I just want to do one quick video to help get you into the holiday spirit if you aren't already. Because well, it's that time, man. We all have our Christmas traditions, and as nerds, we all definitely have our own specific Christmas traditions. I've been going through all the Christmas holiday specials for X-Men, X-Men Evolution, Justice League. Those are some of my traditions, and one of them is to read this bad boy. And it's 4 days till Christmas, so of course we gotta read, a Christmas-themed comic. And you know me, I love Batman. Ignore my Heineken shirt. uh, but you know me, I love Batman. So of course we're going to talk about a Batman story. But before we review this, we got a special message today because at least the day I'm recording this, December 21st, is the birthday of a good friend of ours. Um, you know, our good buddy and fellow frontliner, Jay. Yep, it's Jay's birthday, guys. Wish the old man a happy birthday. God King Doom has had a birthday today. Wish him happy birthday. Go on the Media Madness Facebook page. Wish him a happy birthday. Or do whatever you want to do. Happy birthday, Jay. Man. So, this book right here, this is an original graphic novel. It's out of continuity. And this is called Batman Noel. It's written by Lipe Bermejo, who you might know as the writer from We Are Robin. He writes and draws this, and the artwork, just like on the cover, is beautiful. Look at that. There's like the front cover, and even the back cover looks awesome. Alright, so what is Batman Noel? Well, Batman Noel is essentially Batman, A Christmas Carol, and we have Batman, Bruce Wayne, as Scrooge. But it's kind of a different twist on the story. So we have, from what I can assume is Tim, because Tim is telling this guy, the narrator is telling a story that his dad told him, something that happened to him that he just doesn't believe, and he's telling the story. Look at this architecture of Gotham right here. I'm just gonna keep showing off art because it just looks so beautiful. And so, the story is, story's being told that there's this guy named Bob, who's obviously our Bob Cratchit analog, who's really down on his luck. His kid Tim is really sick. He can't afford to pay the medical bills with the lousy dead-end job that he has, so he's resorted to becoming a hired thug. And he's a hired thug for the Joker, actually. So that's where things get interesting, and that's where Scrooge comes into play here. See, Batman shakes down Bob on Christmas, and he's like, alright, look, if you have information, or as the Joker, tell me where your boss is. And, Bob's like, I don't know, he just gives us notes, and to give us information and instructions to where to get the money, and where to get our payment and stuff. And he's like, alright, look, I'm gonna scout out your house, and next time you get a note, you tell me, and I'm going to track down the Joker. And you better not hold out on me, Bob. And, of course, Batman puts the tracker on right there. So, next up, we move on to see that, this actually takes place in that weird time frame where Batman's gone a lot darker because Jason Todd has recently died. I think this is like maybe a year or so after Jason died. This might have been like one of the first Christmases without Jason. And it talks about how Batman is just really, have become really wrapped up in his work and doesn't think about anyone else but him, but the mission, and justice and all that. He doesn't care about his other friends like Alfred, and you'll see some of his friends that he meets here. Um, and then go to the I'm gonna call it the Cratchit House because Bob doesn't have a last name, but we're gonna go to the Cratchit House here, and because Batman obviously is monitoring the Cratchit House, and you see, sick little tiny Tim, and he's, obviously they're down on their luck family. Tim's trying to build a Christmas tree out of a houseplant, using army men and beer bottle cans as ornaments. And he says, hey Dad, why don't we add a Batman ornament to the Christmas tree? And his dad kind of flips out. He's like, no, Batman's not Christmassy. Batman's freaking scary. We don't need Batman. And then, you know, and then, little tiny Tim is like, but I thought Batman was one of the good guys. I, I thought he only hurts bad people. And then, Bob has a really good line here. He says, sometimes good people have to do bad things. And that's really cool. Again, this artwork is just beautifully done. So, next up, we have, of course, we got Batman in the Batcave. He's monitoring the Cratchit surveillance footage, and Alfred's telling him, like, look, it's like, you should calm down, you're getting sick, because, Batman's coughing, and he's, it's really cold out in Gotham, and apparently Batman is getting really, really sick, and Alfred's worried about him. It's like, you need to calm down, take the night off, Master Bruce. And he says, no, crime doesn't take a day off, so neither will I. And this is, where the real Christmas Carol elements start to really, really pour in heavy. And he's in the Batcave, and he looks around, and hold on, where is it? And he talks about Tim, and he says he's gonna scare Tim to make sure that Tiny Tim doesn't end up following in his father's footsteps. And he's like, "Are you sure that's the best move? If you don't remember, there was another little boy that was in your care that you tried to scare into doing the right thing." And got some flashbacks, of course, of Jason Todd right here. Very cool artwork. And here's where the Christmas Carol elements come in. Jason Todd basically plays the Marley, Jacob Marley of this story, and the ghost of his dead partner. And he warns Bruce, to change his ways because this isn't right. This isn't what Batman should be. And he says he'll be visited by 3 other, spirits, people, beings, however you want to phrase it. And so he, I guess the Fred, Fred Scrooge, Scrooge's nephew, that role is kind of being played by Jim Gordon here. And you see Jim is on the rooftop of the Bat Signal, lighting his cigarette, still keeping his bad habit. Really good artwork. So Jim is like, Batman's asking Jim any leads on the Joker. He's like, nah, I was actually going to go home in a couple minutes if you didn't show up. Look, I just want to spend time with my family. I think you should too. Let it go for just a day, Bats. Let's just have some fun. Just like, if you want, you can come back to the station. We can have some coffee. I know we're not exact. I know you want to keep a professional relationship, but I'd like to think that after all we've been through together and all we've done working together, that we're friends. And Batman's like, no, I gotta focus on the job, and you should too. And then he bounces. So as he's still surveilling, Jim tells him that Catwoman. He got an anonymous tip from Catwoman that she has information on the Joker. So Bruce goes looking for Catwoman, and bam, Catwoman in this scenario is the ghost of Christmas past. Because, Catwoman, she's trying to do her usual Catwoman thing and encourage that game of cat and mouse, and Batman's like, bah humbug, I don't have time for this. It's like, where's the Joker? If you're not gonna tell me about the Joker, then I don't really give a crap about you. You know, I don't have fun doing this, Selina. I'm not sick like you. And then she gets angry. She says, you think I'm like any of those other bozos that you fight? No, I do this because I'm so much more than that to you. You used to remember that. You used to have fun. I remember there were days where you would stop. There was nothing that could stop you from chasing me, and we'd have fun and banter and all this other stuff. And Selina um, talks about how much love he used to have, and you know, how happy he used to be. And he's running to the rooftops, and then these flashbacks of villains and Batman actually in happier times. So that's cool. You got the sequence of Batman running to the rooftops, and then Batman falls because he's sick. And after he gets that trip down memory lane with Selina, we meet the big jolly ghost of Christmas present for this story. And of course, who better fits big, glowing, jolly, and happy than the big blue Boy Scout himself, Superman. This was awesome. I loved this part because Superman is checking in on Bruce because he stopped by apparently to see him for the holidays, but he knew he was out patrolling, so he went to go looking for him, and he sees Bruce, and he X-ray visions Bruce to see if he's okay because he hears him coughing and stuff. And he says, you should get that checked out. Maybe you should get Alfred to pick you up because you shouldn't be driving. I'm not here to help you with your case, Bruce. I'm honestly, in the middle of some holiday stuff myself, but I just want to take you to your car and make sure you're safe, things like that. And then Bruce decides, he's like, all right, you can help me with this one thing, Clark. So they go back and they keep monitoring the Cratchit house, and here we go. And then you see Tim. Tiny Tim is a huge Batman fan, like I said, and Batman, Clark is like, if you involve the dad in this, this is gonna really mess up Tim, and he really looks up to you. You don't want to ruin that for the kid, and what is he gonna do without a father? You know what it's like to grow up without a family, Bruce. I don't think you'd ever want to do that to anyone. You got to consider the guy's situation here. Not everybody is that happy on Christmas, and Superman, with his vast abilities, he shows all the different people that he hears and all the different situations. You even see Gordon here chilling with his some of his fellow officers, and one of the officers is trying to badmouth Batman, and he's like, Batman's crazy, I guess he's just a necessary evil. And then Gordon says, make no mistake, he's not evil, but he's just been a little down since his partner died, or since his partner disappeared, and I really hope he's okay, and I genuinely hope he's okay, and I hope that he can find a way to actually have a good holiday, because I know I sure as hell am. So when Clark drops Bruce off in the Batmobile gets blown up. And right when the Batmobile gets blown up is when we meet I guess the equivalent of the Ghost of Death in this story. And that is, of course, none other than Mr. J himself. Not me, of course. It is the Joker. Very awesome. I love the imagery here. And, Joker, kind of pulls a Bane. He kind of steals from Bane's playbook, and he buries Batman alive. And again, Batman's sick, so he's tripping balls, imagining what life would be like if he died, and the Joker was just allowed to run free, and all the chaos that would ensue in Gotham. He doesn't want that to happen. That's why he's been so obsessive. And he talks about this fight with him and this fight with death. He doesn't want that to happen. Ever since what happened to his parents and all that stuff, it's crazy. Great splash pages. And then we have, a vision of the future with, Bruce Wayne's estate getting sold, and nobody is really there to mourn for him or care about him because he pushed everybody away. Because he's afraid to let anybody in after Jason's death. And then, here we have Batman's grave, and it says, "Here's a bat. He died, being predictable, and nobody loved him." And there's the grave right there. I want you guys to see it. And there's a really cool image of Batman bursting out of the grave, saying, "No, that's not how this is going to happen. I'm going to change now. You've convinced me." So, Joker busts into the Cratchit home, and, Bob is trying his best to defend his son, and Bob's about to get shot, but then Batman comes in and saves the day, and he arrests the Joker, but then he manages to decides to let Bob go. And lets Bob have a Merry Christmas, and he tells Gordon that Bob was his informant and he really helped in the case, so Bob shouldn't be implicated at all. And then we find out that Bob ends up getting a job with Wayne Tech, I think maybe as a janitor or something, or at least a decent paying job. And so Tim and Bob are set, pretty much set. Bruce also hooks them up with a Christmas tree. And we've got like a little version of Tiny Tim saying, "God bless us, everyone." It's just a really, really good story, guys. I know this was a pretty long video. This is almost 20 minutes, but I wanted to kind of just, spend a little story time with you guys, just to get you in the holiday spirit. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I really love this original graphic novel, and if you want, I will leave a link to Amazon where you can buy this in the description below so that you have something to read for yourself next year on Christmas time. Well, until the next comic book review or video, this is Jay from Mr. J's Comic Reviews for Comic Frontline. And as always, don't forget to like this video to let us know you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Comic Frontline if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Comic Frontline. And again, until next time, this is Jay from Mr. J's Comic Reviews for Comic Frontline, and happy holidays, everybody. Hope this major season just a little bit more jolly and bright. Have yourselves a merry little Christmas. Good night. Or morning, wherever you are.